Hey y'all, what's happening? Dr. Ashley Dash here, founder of National Black Man Day. Now, we have Mr. Dr. Jonas Gadson, Mr. Enthusiastic himself, coming through the stage. I think it's actually Mr. Enthusiasm. Excuse me, my bad, Dr. Gadson. I am so thrilled. I am so excited to share this information, to meet with him, to have this interview. It's going to be fire. It's going to be amazing. Go ahead, sit down, focus in, put down your phone, and pay attention. I want you guys to lock in because we're about to get some information that we need to change your lives and change the world. Let's go.
And thank you, Dr. Dash, for that wonderful introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have Dr. Jonas Gadson. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing great. I'm fired up and ready to go.
We were just talking before we started recording, and I was just telling him how his questionnaire just got me fired up, actually. And I actually sat down and did some work that I should have done a while ago. But we're going to get into some of those things. This is going to be a great conversation. So thank you all for joining us today. If you do not have a notebook or something to take notes with, please take some notes because you definitely want to get all the speakers' contact information, the name of the projects that they're working on and things of that nature so that you can keep in touch and so that you can take some of this goodness with you. So, Dr. Gadson, who is Jonas Gadson?
Well, as I always start out, there are three kinds of people: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those who wondered what happened. I am a person that make positive things happen, and I know that you are too. Well, I spent 30 years in corporate America with Eastman, Kodak, and Xerox, and trained over 8,000 employees from 69 different countries and received the Trainer of the Year award. We are dealing with vice president, executive secretary, supervisor, HR folks, scientists, people that's into engineer and all of that in the corporate America piece. I'm also a best-selling author. We'll go into that later. And I pivot in 2020, and I didn't know nothing about technology. And now I got one of my bonuses. Just because you use tech doesn't mean that you have to lose the human touch. So now I got 7 best-selling author books with about 300 different authors, and I did it on my laptop virtually, and we are touching people from around the world. I'm generally my nickname is Mr. Enthusiastic. And of course, I'm going to share some bonus from Jonas later on. And one of my famous bonus is when your value is clear, your decision is easy. That's a bonus from Jonas. When your value is clear, your decision is easy. So I'm fired up and ready to go.
Hold on, look. Y'all soak that in. Let's soak all that in. Let's soak it in for a minute. I'm gonna need you to be one of my mentors. We'll talk. We'll talk about that later. But
Yes,
yeah,
I'll be honored.
no, I would be honored. So, share with us your inspiration.
Well, my inspiration, I'm the president and CEO of Partners for Purposeful Living. And my principle of all of my positive message is based on my 4 principles. Number 1, education. Number 2, inspiration. Number 3, transformation. And number 4, motivation. Now, let me say a little something about each one of these. First of all, educate. That comes from the Latin word to lead and to draw out the best that's in you. So some people say, give me more motivation. No, you don't need motivation, not first. Because if you're heading in the wrong direction, you don't need motivation. You need to turn around and get the proper education. So education is critical. Now, I know you said to me, Mr. Wilson, you said that you're a teacher. So I don't mean this in a harmful way, but there's a difference between a communicator and an educator.
Yes.
An educator takes simple things and make it complex, but a communicator take complex things and make it simple. I am a communicator. I swing the bucket down low that everybody can get a drink. Bonus from Jonas, if you cheat yourself in your preparation, it will show up in your presentation. The second one is inspiration. Now, and if there ever been a time that we need some inspiration, some encouragement to encourage people to live their dreams, their goals, and their aspiration, this is your time and this is your turn. Get it done and do it now. And then you go from the inspiration to transformation. Now, a lot of people talk a lot about change, but I challenge people to move away from change to transformation, because change is temporary, but transformation is permanent. I don't care how many legs a caterpillar has. I don't care how fast he can run. He can never fly until he's transformed into a butterfly. And so it's a transformation. And then the fourth one is that's the time when motivation comes in, to get up and get going, to live your dreams, to live your goals and your aspiration. One of the books that I wrote, my first book, is How to Fly Like an Eagle with Wings Like a Wimp. It teaches you to take a chance, take charge, and take control of your life. And I love to see the transformation that happened to people. And I've been speaking now to people from around the world, right from my home, right on my laptop. I've been spoke to people in London and in Africa and all across the world, just from home, with a positive message to give them hope. And as a matter of fact, to help them, that don't focus on what, bonus from Jonas, don't focus on what you have lost, focus on what you have left, because what you have left to get the job done. And don't focus on the past. You cannot change the past, but you can change your path and lead the path of righteousness. And I know you got hurts, habits, and hangups. I stopped by to give you H, number 4, the healing power. The healing power. This is your time and this is your turn. And let me tell you something. When you have some bad things in the past, number 1, don't nurse it. Number 2, don't curse it. Number 3, don't rehearse it. He said, well, Dr. Gadson, if I can't nurse it, if I can't curse it, if I can't rehearse it, then what can I do about the past? Reverse it. Reverse it. Reverse it. You can do it. You can do it. It's in your power. You can create the life that you desire and that you deserve. And bonus from Jonas, life is like an elevator. It will take you up or it will take you down. All depend on which button you push. Some of us are in the basement in our lives when we're supposed to be in the penthouse because we pushed the wrong button. And I like what Dr. Martin Luther King said, was that time is always ripe to do what's right. And then I like what Alex Haley said. Alex Haley said, anytime you see a turtle sitting on a pulse, you rest assured he had some help. Somebody helped me, and I'm spending the rest of my life to help somebody else. God had put a trumpet in my throat, and I will continue to blow it until the day I die. Live full and die empty. I came today to rob the graveyard of all of your talents, your book, your restaurant, your dreams, your goals. Don't take it to the graveyard. The scripture said all of us was born with a gift. You are pregnant with possibility. Don't abort your dream, birth your dream. This is your time. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. There's nearly 8 billion people on the planet, and there'll never be another one just like you. No one else can duplicate your fingerprint, your handwriting, or your child. This is your time, and this is your turn. Get it done. And what time is it? Now o'clock. Do it now. Write that book now. When you need to live that dream. Now, when you need to open up that business. Now, when you need to go back and get you some more training, to get you a tutor, to get you a coach. Do it now. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, get you a coach. Now, there's an African proverb that if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do us no harm. Loose the man. I'm fired up. Mr. Rose, would you please loose me? Loose the man and let him go and grow. I am fired up. There's no use to call the fire department because they don't like this fire and they can't put it out.
I love it. I love it. So I see why motivational speaking is one of your many, many, many talents. Thank you for that. I'm going to have to listen to this quite a few times. And I personally, those of you out there, I'm going to speak for myself. I personally needed that. Just like you said, I have so many ideas here and I have the opportunity in front of me, but I need to get my behind up and do it now. And, you know, when I ask myself, well, what are you waiting for? I don't have an answer. What am I waiting for? So, wow, I hope that lit a fire under you all that are out there listening. I told you you needed something to write with so you could take these gems with you. Wow, that was I love that. I love that. So, what does being an expert communicator entail?
Well, that's critical. That's the number one thing. They asked Warren Buffett a few months ago, and you know he's a multi-billionaire. He asked Warren Buffett, what is the number one gift that people need for the 21st century and beyond? And they were looking for him to talk about stocks and bonds. He said the number one thing that you need to invest in for the 21st century is public speaking. That is critical. And if you don't know how to complain, see what I've learned in life, you don't get in life what you deserve. You don't even get in life what you want. You get in life what your ability is to negotiate. And communication is critical. And we have a time now where people can't even finish a conversation that you want to raise on your job. You want somebody to invest in you or your business. All of this deal with communication.
Yeah.
It helped me from coming on in corporate America. I started on the assembly line. But because I could communicate effectively outside, when they needed someone to train 8,000 employees, they asked me to do it during a difficult time. And by the way, there wasn't a position for me. They made a position. See, your gift will make room for you, but you got to develop your gift. And one of the things you mentioned also, Mr. Wilson, is that, see, sometimes we all over the place, but you have to, it's one thing. There's no such thing as multi-talented, but it's one thing. You got to focus on that one thing and get that one thing done. And as I talk about in my new book and my training, is that a tree has a trunk. But where did that nourishment come from? The nourishment comes from the root. But that root nourished that tree. That tree grows up and it has a lot of branches on it. But that one roots are still feeding the branches. So develop that one thing. Then later on, now I'm an author. Now I'm also doing a master class. I'm also doing a retreat. All of this in communication based upon one thing. In fact, what is also said about Warren Buffett, the only thing he has hanging in his office is his certificate that he got from public speaking. That's critical. Then the next question came and said, what is number two? Number two is work on yourself. Work harder on yourself than you do with anybody else. I've invested over $100,000 in my personal and professional development. You can't lead person to take some person a place that you never went before. Invest in the most important person on the planet.
Yes.
It's you. And by the way, when you're working a business, people don't buy your product first. They buy you. And if you don't know how to sell yourself, you are the product. I was talking to someone not that long ago, and they said, "Well, Dr. Gadson, do you need a PowerPoint and all of that?" I said, "I am the PowerPoint. I am the PowerPoint. I got the gestures. I got to give me a trumpet. You got to learn about vocal variety and everything. And let me tell you something. And if you do use a PowerPoint, use it to aid you. You
Yes.
don't aid the PowerPoint. I see people got PowerPoint and they got a good relationship with the PowerPoint because they turn to the PowerPoint and just talk to the PowerPoint. When they turn back, the audience is gone.
Gone. Every time.
So communication is critical, not only in your professional life, but also in your personal life. It'll help you to be a better husband, to communicate with your wife, communicate with your children, to help you to communicate to the board member. If you sell things, listen, the people buy you first. You know, people do business with those they like and those they
Yep.
trust. But I also, in communication, Mr. Wilson, this is what I teach. Everybody has a neon sign on their forehead, and the neon sign says, "What's in it for me?" And most of us, when we present, we trying to talk people in what's in it for us. They don't care nothing about us. They only care about themselves. And so you got to give them a checkup from the neck up. You got to give them bread for the head. I think I said something. Yeah, I said, see, that's why the scripture even said, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Don't let the world squeeze you into its mold. So you need a transformation. But in order to get the transformation, you need the proper information. Come on, somebody. Okay, let me tell you something else. And we are being bombarded with information, but we are starving for knowledge.
Yes. You just, man, you hit so many points just now. I really want to touch on, well, starving for knowledge. That's very interesting because we are in the technology age, and in the palm of our hands we have a cell phone and the internet, and we can look up and see anything that we want to give us the answers to what we want. But people very seldomly use it for that. It's focused on entertainment, what's funny, what's the next gossip, when you have one of the most powerful tools in the world in your hand. Another thing that you spoke on is focusing on, that one talent or that one thing that you have. That used to be my problem. I was trying to do everything. I was DJing. I was trying to do all kind of stuff at once. And then I slowed my life down and I said, hey, what do you actually love doing? What do you enjoy doing? And what are you good at? Communication is one of my strong suits, so I started a podcast. Now I'm over 240 episodes into it. Been doing this for about 6 years now. Then had probably close to 100 guests on my podcast. And all because I slowed down and said, okay, let me just focus on this. And it's something I'm going to do forever. It feels good. It never feels like work. And I love to do it. Another thing, dang, you said so much. You got me super hyped. But those of you out there listening, take this message. This man knows what he's talking about. I've experienced these things. I've seen these things. And I know what it's like to run yourself ragged with thoughts and trying to do everything and be Superman and go over here and do this and go over here and do that. But, I know what I was going to say. That you touched on something that I challenge anybody out there listening. Whoever you admire, super duper millionaire, movie star, mom, dad, uncle, whoever you admire that's successful, one thing that they all have in common, they always talk about how much they invested in themselves and into their own training to learn more about the craft, to learn more about how they can expand what it is that they already have. All of them do it. And it's funny, we want to get to the money so fast. We want to put these shiny things in front of people so fast that we don't invest in ourselves enough. But you are the greatest asset because without you, none of the other stuff exists. So definitely, whatever field you are in, take a course, take a class, sign up for a master class. You're going to hear about a wonderful master class near the end of this conversation. But take those things because they're designed to help you. People are putting knowledge out there for you so that you can do better for yourself. It's to benefit you, which, as you said, everyone has that neon sign. What's in it for me? That's what's in it for you. That personal development. We have to get better at just enrolling and taking these courses and these classes and these trainings, and also mentors. Like, I just asked this good brother to be my mentor. That wasn't a joke. Most of my success I would have to attribute to my mentors. When I hit a roadblock, when there's a bump in the road, when I don't know something, whether it's personal or professional, I call I pray and I call my mentors because one, they're a little older than me. Two, they've probably been there already and they know me well enough to say, You're probably doing this. Take a look at this. Here's this. Call me back after you finish doing this. And it
That's right.
9 times out of 10, it works out because we don't have all the answers. And
That's
we
right.
don't have to carry this whole load and burden of successful. I got it out the mud. I'm self-made. Like you just said, there's 8 billion people on the planet. Why are you trying to do everything by yourself
That's right.
when you got
Absolutely.
backup?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the other thing I want to add to that, because we're dealing with some very difficult times with
Yes.
a lot of hurts, habits, and we lost a lot of loved ones. I just was informed that one of my nephew died in New York, and we're making preparation on that. And those are some difficult times. But one of the things I encourage people: don't focus on what you have lost. Focus on what you have left, because what you have left is enough to get the job done. The past end last night. And the other thing I want to emphasize too, that you alluded to as well, is that you heard a quote, and most people quote it incorrectly, that you're a jack of many trade and master of none. That's not the proper quote. You're a jack of many trade, but you got to become master of one. Got to be master of one. And the other thing I wanted to say right quickly is that I used to be a lifelong learner, and I learned a lot of things with that concept. But what I found out that most of the things I learned was irrelevant, had no bearing. So in my new book, I'm not talking about a lifelong learner. I'm talking about in the 21st century and beyond, you got to be a laser learner. Because if you take a laser in your hand and then aim that laser against steel, it will burn through. So you have to be focused, because whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. You got to be focused on this one thing. The best way to create the future is to predict it. You have to predict your own future, and you have to be a part of it, because you can always better your best. And there's no help coming. The help that we got is at end of both our sleeves. We got to go roll it up and go to work. So you got to see, when you focus on something, you can burn through doubt. You can burn through fear. You can burn through frustration. You can burn through the idea nobody never did this before. Well, you can be the first one. Why you raise the question, am I the one? No, change your mindset. I am the one. I was chosen for such a time as this. You chose the right time, you're right person when you chose me. Because I'm gonna live full and I'm gonna die empty. And I'm gonna burn through anything, and I'm not gonna listen to the naysayers. Bonus from Jonas. Don't listen to the critics without credential. The people who telling you that you cannot do something, never done anything. Stop arguing with people that's not going nowhere. Because if they're satisfied with where they are. See, I grew up in South Carolina, so we used to go in the creek and get the crab, and we'll get the crab out and come out and put it in the tub, and then put a fire on, and some of those crab almost got out, but the other crabs reached up, pull it down. Consequently, they all got cooked and they all got eaten. So you have to be a participant in your own rescue. Oh, I think I said something. You have to be a participant in your own rescue.
Very true. Very true. Oof. Y'all, are y'all getting this? Are y'all writing this down? Are y'all listening? Are y'all taking in this information, these gems, these jewels? I hope that you are. That, yes. I can't I couldn't agree with you more on everything that you just said. That's a very, very big one. I don't know why, but people hate to see you be successful without them. They hate to see you successful without them. And the sad part is, most of the time, we have the door wide open for them to walk in and come be successful with us. But because they want to do it their way, I want to be the boss. I want to be the leader. They don't take you up on it. And then when you make it, yeah. And another thing that you said that's important, and I want to drop this gem. Be very mindful of who keeps speaking to you and talking to you about who you used to be instead of who you are today. Some people were comfortable when you were less successful, less knowledgeable, less attractive. When you were less than, people were more comfortable. They felt like, oh, they're at your level or above sometimes. But when you rise up and do what you're supposed to do, they become uncomfortable. They don't want to see you up here anymore. They don't want to, even though you did it and you're not changing, you ain't got no funky attitude, you're not treating them no kind of way. You just rose up because you did what you were supposed to do. They may not have. Now they looking at you funny. Yeah, Rob, oh, that's a nice car. You remember back in the day when you used to whoa, wait, what? Hey, let's talk about now.
That's right.
You don't have to. I know where I came from.
That's right. That's right.
I'm no longer there for a reason. Okay.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's why, Mr. Wilson, I always emphasize to people the 3 P's. You want to build around you positive, powerful, and purposeful people. The people I associate with, we have the mind of abundancy, not a scarcity. So I don't hang around. I'm allergic to negative folks. So the group that I run with, we all are positive and we all are going somewhere, and we don't feel threatened because there's enough people out there for all of us. I just want to get the share that has been designated for me. But being around the right people, proximity is critical. I tell people all the time, if you hang around with 9 broke people, I guarantee you will be number 10. Because some people are so broke, they walk by the alarm, walk by the bank, and the alarm system will go off. So make sure, even the scripture said, evil communication corrupts good morals. You want to have the right kind of people. Proximity is a study that indicate that who is in your network determine how much money are you going to make. See, so those people, you're going to have to love them, but love them from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
You got to practice distancing from them, okay? Because they'll steal your dreams. They'll
Yes.
talk you out of what you're supposed to do. And matter of fact, some of them tried to talk me out of something, but you know what happened, Mr. Wilson? They got to me too late. I already had did what they told me I couldn't do.
Too late.
Come on, somebody. I know it's tight, but it's right. Come on. See, and let me tell you something. Let me. The number one the haters drink, the number one beverage they drink is haterade. Come on, somebody. So use that fuel to fire you up. Love them from a distance. They said, well, you used to be. I say, used to be don't make any honey. That's what I used to be. I'm not that now. What have you done for me lately? And sometimes the other thing, Mr. Wilson, is that you have to learn some people you love them, but you outgrow them.
Yes. Yes.
Come. Listen. The book that I talk about how to fly like an eagle with wings like a wimp, I did a study with an eagle, and an eagle is the only bird that don't fly south during the winter month. The eagle used the storm as an updraft. And the eagle is the only bird that can fly 10,000 feet in the air. Now, other birds, as a matter of fact, sometimes when the crow and other birds get on the back, try to pull them down, he just take them straight to the sun and burn them off, because other birds can't live at that altitude because there's less air up there. Come on, somebody. Mm-hmm. Some people, you want to take them with you, but they can't handle that altitude. Come on, somebody. See. So some people I learn in life, you can spend 5 minutes with them. That's wonderful, but don't go for 10. They can't handle 10. Some folks you can spend an hour with, but don't go for 2. Some people you can handle them for a day, but not for a week. See, and then the other thing that you said also, that is a misnomer that a lot of people don't understand. Don't focus on your weakness, because if you master your weakness, you're still going to be a weakness. You're still going to be weak. Focus on your strength and get some help on your weakness. Delegate your weakness, but focus on your strength. Because bonus from Jonas, every master was once a disaster. Oh, I think I said something. I think that's a bonus from Jonas. I said every master was once an exactor. So you have to start on that and work on that thing. Now I'm speaking good now and training, but I had all kinds of training, Toastmasters and Dale Carnegie, and went to college for study that, and all of the. I had a speech in therapy to teach me because I was dropping off my TH and 101 training. See, someone said, "Are you an overnight success?" Yes, but my night been 40 years. And I'm still working. I'm still bettering my best. My best is not out here. I can't die yet because I'm not finished.
I you need to write a book called Bonus from Jonas and just fill it with, if you haven't already, and just fill it just fill it
Yes,
up with those. Just fill it
yes,
up with those.
that's next on the agenda.
So tell us about what it's like to be a 7-time best-selling author.
It's great. But before I make a quick comment on that, I want to say this because sometimes people think you just learn that automatically. I was more least to be successful in high school. When I was in high school and graduated from high school, I never even read a book.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter where you start. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started in order to be great. And
Yes.
so now with these books that I'm working, and I did collaboration. The first book I told you about how to fly like I wrote that one myself, but the others, 6 more, and I believe that the one we are doing for Unmuting the Black Man are going to be number 7, because that's going to be a best-selling one too. And I'm in there. I got a chapter up in there as well. Amen. Now I
Amen.
found out that the magazine just came out, but it's great because listen, because see, the book that I love said a good man leave an inheritance for 3 generations. And so everything I speak, I record. Long after I'm dead and gone, there are going to be books here that's still going to guide my one daughter, still going to guide my granddaughter, and generation before. They don't know that Jonas and the bonus was here. You know, the root word for legacy is leg. I'm leaving a leg for those who come behind me, and that they can have a better life. That's why I honor my marvelous mother, because she was my shero. My father died when I was a little boy. I didn't have a father, so my mother took on that. But I'm a product of the African proverb. It takes a village to raise a child. I mean, a lot
Yes.
of people. When I walk in the room, I got more than God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm standing on the shoulders of my ancestors because they paved the way. Because when they were caught reading, their eyes were plucked out. When they were caught writing, their fingers were cut off. When they were caught articulating their thoughts, their tongues were mutilated. How dare me to sit around and not live my dreams and not add to the fire, some fuel to the fire that our ancestor fought so hard, died, so I can be able to have the opportunity to speak life. And let me tell you something else, other bonus from Jonas. See, your light that you have, Mr. Wilson, your light is for somebody else's life. But light up your life first.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I'm going to tell the people that you need a new wattage. Some of us, we just got a 40-watt bulb. We barely can see ourselves. Man, change that to 100-watt. And let me say, the naysayer is going to come to you and say, listen, your light is too bright. So here's what I tell them. Go down to Walmart or go down to the pharmacist and buy you some sunglasses, because I'm not going to minimize my light because you want to stay in the dark. Come on. I came to light your fire. My faith is on fire. Loose this man and let him go so he continue to grow and glow.
Go get some sunglasses. I'm gonna have to use that. I'm gonna have to use that when I'm shining too bright, and I know I'm like, hey, you might need some sunglasses around me. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Oh, bonus from Jonas. Okay, I only have a couple more questions for you. Well, one, tell everyone about your masterclass that you have coming up.
Yeah, the master class is going to be focused on teaching you how to give a positive presentation. We're going to teach you how to stand up to be seen, to speak up to be heard, and to sit down to be appreciated. So sometimes people, I tell people also, be careful as a communicator. You never want to be glad twice. You don't want your audience to be glad twice. Glad to see you get up and then glad to see you sit down. Say enough that you got them craving that they want more. So this master class is going to teach you how to speak and how to do a presentation. It's going to be deeper than a opening, a body, and a close. It's going to be deeper than that. I'll just give you one of it. One, the first thing you're going to do is attention getter. Attention getter. Don't get up there talk about good morning, how y'all doing, and listen. Have somebody who to introduce you. I must be speaking coming up on the 26th. But people invited me to speak to their whole board member. So I'm gonna take my introducer with me. I don't allow anybody to introduce me any kind of way. So they introduce me and all of the things that it needs to be said. So when I come up, I come in with fire. I'm coming with a story. I'm coming with an antidote. I'm coming with statistics. Like for number one, the number one fear in America among business people is public speaking. Number seven is death. That means most people willing to die than give a presentation. And so I'm going to show them how to do it. We're going to give them the techniques. Then later on, we're going to follow up with a boot camp. Not only are they going to get the method, but they're going to come in and actually speak. And they're going to, when they leave that boot camp, they're going to already have their presentation, their opening, because they're going to give their whole their whole presentation, and we're going to critique them. It's one thing to teach them the knowledge, but we're going to teach them and let them do it and show them how to do it. It's going to be powerful. We're going to at least, and I'm writing a book on it too, how to give a powerful presentation. And we are focusing on first of all, mastering yourself. Number two, mastering your subject. Number three, master your specific audience. That's critical. See, because if you, the book I read, he said the most powerful man is not a king that rules a city, but it's a man or woman that control their own spirit. You got it only, you have to know the way, go the way, and show the way. You got to be the example on what you are talking about, and which is critical. But it's going to be powerful. We're going to do some private coaching, one-on-one, to get you where you need to go faster. And also we're going to do some group. And my second powerful gift is empowering people, personal empowerment. A lot of speakers now are going into personal empowerment because they found out even though they can speak good, they're empty inside. We got a lot of women want to go to the C-suite. I came out of corporate America, but you can't let your talent take you to a place that your character can't sustain you.
Wow.
Okay, come on, somebody. See, so you got a lot of head knowledge and all that. But now when you get in there and you don't know who you are and whose you are, you didn't do any work on you.
That's a word.
So you haven't even accepted yourself. Then you want other people to accept you. And about that, let me close out. See, some people, Mr. Wilson, when you start growing like that, they call you arrogant. But there's a difference between arrogant and confident.
Yes.
See, when you know who you are and whose you are, and one time someone said to me, "Oh, Dr. Gadson, are you working hard on yourself so you can get somebody?" I said, "No, I'm working hard on myself so I can be somebody." That's a big difference. That's a
Huge difference.
That's a big difference. I'm working hard. I'm working to be all I can be, because you can always better your best.
Dr. Gadson, I got nothing else. The last thing I was going to ask you is to leave us with some encouraging words, but you've been doing that since you started speaking, so I'm not even I don't even feel that there's a need. Thank you once again for just firing me up. I'm like, when we get off this call, I'm going to get to work. And I hope that y'all out there are going to get to work as well. But before I let you go, is there anything else you would like to share? Anything you would like to promote, market, or talk about that you have going on? You just mentioned your master class. You want to you want to name your books?
Yes, I'll do that really quickly. One is How to Fly Like an Eagle with Wings Like a Wimp. It teaches you to take a chance, take charge, and take control of your life. The other one, I Am a Victor. There's 43 authors in this book. I have one chapter in Facing the Future with a New Focus. The next one, that You Are Enough. There's 74 authors in there in this book. I'm in this book here as well. The next one is unleashing your undeniable potential. That's another one that a number of authors in. This one here is Make It Matter. There's about 17 different authors. And finally, the one that just came out, Dare to Rise Above Mediocrity. A total about 300 different authors. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I think I accidentally hit the screen.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you're good. We're still here. We can still
Yeah.
hear you. We heard every single title of the book, the title of all the books. So
Yes,
thank you.
yeah, yes. And the only thing I want to leave out is my motto: since greatness is possible, excellence is not enough. Go for greatness. And also a free gift for those who are listening to this broadcast is go to www.jonasbonus.com. www.jonasbonus.com. And those of you who are not computer savvy and you want to talk to me personally, you can reach me at 585-703-9547. That's 585-703-9547. And again, since greatness is possible, excellence is not enough. Go for greatness.
On that note, we will see y'all with the next speaker. Thank you once again, Dr. Jonas Gadson, for sharing your message and firing us up. We'll see y'all again soon.